So here we are at the local hardware store about to try to pick up the aerator. So not used to driving with the trailer so much on my truck. I finally got the tow bar and all that put on, but trying to get the aerator, the scariest part for me, securing it in my rickety old dad trailer, and let's get it to the church so we can get started with this aeration. All right, so we successfully made it from the hardware store here to the church at the project lawn. I will show you real fast before we get started what I did yesterday off camera. But here is the aerator. You ever heard of Bluebird? I have not. It's kind of a wide machine. I don't know if it's a 19-inch, but we had to throw the tines down to try to keep it on the trailer there. But they look like they'll pull a course, maybe. I don't know. This is gonna be, it looks a little rough. This may be the only time we give Ricky our business. Before we offload this, begin the process of aerating, couple things I need to do. I want to get the seed out. Seeing videos, YouTube videos, let the seed dry as much as you can. I want to go ahead and unbag the seed, put it in the wheelbarrows. I've got two wheelbarrows over here. I brought mine from the house, and I've got this one from the church. So we got two, and I know we can evenly distribute it, spread the seed out a little bit, let it dry. It's not going to be 100% dry, but at least the seed can dry a little bit. Then we will mix it with the soil conditioner. So let's get the tripod, let's get the seed, and let's unbag it here in the wheelbarrow and let the seed hopefully dry out a little bit while we aerate. You guys, let me dump it first and then see if you guys can see it. Oh yeah, it's soggy seed. And there definitely is some ryegrass germination. It's wet on the bottom mainly, but luckily as we dump this, the bottom is on the top, right? So that's good for the sun. It looks like the rest of it is definitely spreadable. There you can see, this is where I'll mix it, but you can see the little pieces of grass in there, like right here. I mean, there's little pieces of grass. If I hold still, it's probably gonna be easier, but there's little pieces of grass that have popped from the rye. And so you can see that. And it's wet, but it's not soaking wet. I think this is, gonna dry while we do it. Obviously I'm gonna have to flip it and turn it and see if it can, lay it out in the sun a little bit. I won't say I'm smoked, but man, I've already tried to pick up the peat moss and distribute it, and I was like, yeah, I'll just use the wheelbarrow in time. So, all right, let's get to it. So, Papa's here. I got it loaded over here. It did well, but I was gonna ask him. He got here late, but I was going like 5 miles an hour the whole time, and I don't know if there's gas, but we got it done. But I'll flip the camera around and show you here what it looks like. I think it's gonna turn out well. So you should have saw some clips of aerating. It was tiring. The equipment did fine. I couldn't find the gas on it. And of course, when it's eye level with me in the trailer and Dad shows up, it's like, oh, there it is. It was kind of stiff, but it was fine. It went a little slower than I wanted to, but that's the only complaint I have about it. Good solid depth of pulling cores, and that's good right there. So I'm very pleased. So on to the next step. So I've cleaned off the tines. That was really the most annoying part. And now I'm about to fill it up with gas, return that. And I want to show you real fast, before I did the second pass on the front part over here, I did turn the seat over. Let me show you some of the seat I've turned over and some of the seat that's been sitting since I started aerating. So I've set the wheelbarrows up on the buckets towards the sun. Now, of course, the sun is all being blocked, but I've turned this over. You can see some of the dry seed down here, but it's drying out. You can see the darker color versus the lighter color at the bottom. And you can see the top layer drying out, the bottom layer I turned over just to show you the difference there. So I'm just kind of turning it over, like I said, and we're gonna mix this, trying to take all this dry seed and just kind of push it down to the bottom and then let the next layer, you know, on top kind of have its turn. This is the part I'm nervous about. Now this one looks like this already looks like it's kind of dried out. So I'm just gonna kind of rub my hand on there and yeah, expose the next set. And there we go. So I'm anxious to see how this turns out. Now by the time I get back from getting gas and returning the aerator, this should all be dry on top and maybe underneath. So we will go from there. When we get back from returning the aerator, we'll work on mixing this and distributing out our grass seed, our Jonathan Green heavy traffic fescue and ryegrass. All right, guys, so we're back, and here is our 50 pounds, as you see at the bottom, soil conditioner. I've never used this. That came from Amazon, Live Earth Products soil conditioner, granulated humic soil amendment for all turf, ornamental crops, natural. It's just kind of acting as a filler to bind to the seed to put it out. That's about all I know about it, but we have, I think, plenty of, quote, items to bind to the seed. Turn this over since I've gotten back. It seems like I got more in this, but this wheelbarrow does seem a little bit smaller than this one. So in all the hustle with the kids and receipts and getting the credit card back to the church, I've locked my keys in the car. So there we go. That's the first time I've ever done that. This is the part I've heard can be the worst, and I'm hoping that it goes well and been praying about it. So we've set this out all half a day. It's been drying in the sun. Also remember, I did not put any water in it Wednesday night. It set in the sack in the bucket. Thursday, all day, set in the bucket. Last night I brought it up here. It's set in the gym in the bucket, no water. So it's drain, quote, set in no water for almost a day and a half. And then today it's been spread out and drying even more. That is important, I believe, because it can make a difference. It doesn't feel, now here's some of the wet stuff underneath, like, quote, wet stuff. And you see it's kind of clumpy, but even if I just give it a 2-3 shake, most of it is gone. It is not, it's damp. It is not wet. I really feel like it's damp. Let's do this one first. I'm gonna put some soil conditioner. We're gonna dump some in here. We're gonna mix it up and just see how it goes. There's no real instruction manual for me here. This is the nervous part. Let's see if we can get it done and spread it. Okay, so this is like a very dark bio, I don't know, it kind of looks like dirt. It's organic, so I don't know. We'll see how this binds. It almost looks like it's very dirty. So I'm gonna look like a mess here in a second. All right, so, whoa, no. That was almost terrible. We need to get this sucker off the bucket. Why didn't I think so? All right, so we're just gonna work this around the best that I can with my hand. Seed and conditioner, I 100% know, but by the eye test, we definitely have more seed than conditioner in here. The soil conditioner looks like charcoal, but I mean, looks healthy for the soil. Let me reposition. So there we go. That's the mix. We're trying to get down here, you know, at the bottom. I think that's pretty good. So there we go. That's what we're going to attempt to spread for our first amount here. Woo! So it worked, guys. Sorry about the AC unit right here. I'm going to try to talk louder. Matter of fact, let me just move you. So that worked. So with the side control on, absolutely no go. I tried it here to begin with, nothing. Tried it at the end, nothing. I've got it, my setting, hold on a second, but it's somewhere around 25 or a tick over. And so basically I'm opening it up more. And I noticed that like the middle of the spreader was caving in instead of a smooth, even distribution, you know what I'm saying? So there may be a little bit of clumping, but it's spread at 25, wide open, running back and forth. It's going down with no issues. So All glory to the Lord Jesus Christ. Jesus is King. And let's see if it continues to work like a charm. This is pretty cool. Alright guys, so all the seed has been distributed, and just as a quick review of that process, not bad. Soil conditioner that I will link below, mixed with it fine. I can't say that it clumped together with the seed, but the seed came out, so I guess it did that. So everything went fine. I'm not going to say it was smooth like a protein fertilizer smooth, which is tiny prills. You had to sometimes bounce the earthway, and I ended up jacking it all the way up to 30 wide open to spread it out, because I was just trying to just broadcast it all out. I had plenty of seed, so there is seed everywhere. So now we've got to blow off the sidewalk, get everything back on the area. A sheriff's deputy is now coming to get me back into my truck, because I think Dad got an old key from the house or something, so I'm locked out, but it's all good. We got plenty of work to do. The next thing is the peat moss. Man, I'm not even gonna front, G. I am smoked way more than on my lawn, and it don't make sense. It feels like they missed the mark of 82 degrees by about 10 degrees. It feels like 97 out here. It is hot, man. Can I get an amen in the comments from my North Carolina people? I'm filthy, I'm dirty, I'm nasty. You can't see the whole rest of me, but I don't even want to stand in the sun. It's like back to last year where I feel like I haven't eaten today because I just like to get it done. I can eat later. It's like the military. I'll eat it and I'll taste it later. But I didn't shove anything down for food, so I am running on fumes, but I'm done. And I had to literally talk to myself out loud. Come on, last bundle, go. My back is hurting. I am just smoked. There is no way I could do this every day. And hats off from one veteran to lawn care veterans out there that do this all the time, and your body is trained for it. Man, I salute you. This sucks. I don't know if I could do it. So with all that yapping and complaining and whining, we've got everything down. It's a matter of now water. I've blown off the sidewalk. Peat moss is everywhere. I didn't even fertilize. and I can't imagine. I'm smoked. And so we're gonna come back and do fertilizer later on. We'll give it, we pre-germinated, so technically 3 days should be plenty of time to see something. I told my dad, I'm looking Sunday. Do I see ryegrass on Sunday? The difficulty in that, for those that are new, is our water system here. We have well water. We can water as much as we want, but the pump kicks on, we got decent pressure. When the pump kicks off, we have literally like crappy pressure. Like, we can't do anything. It is so annoying, and it's back and forth. So it's so unreliable. And I've mentioned it, it's not gotten fixed. It is what it is. So that's why, again, pre-germinating was something when you can't get up here and water all the time, or if you can't get outside and water all the time, that's why I wanted to attempt it. Now, what I did today was not really technically pre-germinating. I mean, we did, right? We put it in the sacks, we put it in water for 2 days, 1 day and a half, or if you will. But it's not the same as doing it for 5 days or something like that and having roots like I showed you in the last video. I didn't want to push it that far, especially with ryegrass. So this was like a little test that I would not do this again with ryegrass. Obviously, ryegrass is too fast germinating to pre-germinate. That's dumb, really. But it was in this mix, and so I wanted to go ahead and try it because I'd already purchased the seed. So in reality, GCI turf seed, would be great to try it with. Spreader Elite, same thing. It's all tall fescue. That would be something interesting to do. But I like showing you guys this. Now you know. So we'll see what happens. Ryegrass, typically in my lawn, hand on the Bible, I'm seeing the Jonathan Green ryegrass come up in, I want to say 4 days, you know, 3-4 days. So if this don't come up by Sunday, when I come to church Sunday and I don't see little baby ryegrass, what's the point of doing pre-germination for ryegrass, right? What's the point of doing that? With the fescue, if we, you know, and how we're going to distinguish between rye and fescue, don't know, but we'll see. We'll see the results. Was this worth it? It did spread. The link in the description, the soil conditioner worked fine. I still have to put down the Magic How Plus. I still have to put down, and we'll make a whole different video on the Jonathan Green fertilizer we're going to be using. So stay tuned for that. But the Jonathan Green heavy traffic seed is down. The peat moss is down. The aeration is done, and I am more smoke out. So I'll show you before we go, or at the end of this talking segment here. Thank you guys so much. Thumbs up. I'll show you the finished product with the sprinkler going in the background. Maybe it is so hot I don't want to be in the sun, but thank you for tuning in. Please give the video a like. Please comment below. Let's spread this out to other people. This is part 2. Now we've laid the seed down. We successfully spread it. What happens from here? That's what everybody wants to know. We're going to find out together, hopefully in a video coming next week when I get up here to do the fertilizer. And we may have to put it off. If we don't see germination, we have to put that off. So it's to be seen. So God bless you. Thank you for watching to the end. Have a great day.